This is just a quick message for you folks to keep your eyes open for what's happening in the world. I'm not talking about the physical changes. We just had some extraordinary earthquakes going off around the Ring of Fire, 8.6, 8.2 in Indonesia, 6.9 Gulf of California and Mexico, and then up around Oregon. So things are accelerating. We can all see that. We can see the changes in the weather patterns as well. But I want to specifically talk about what the Illuminati's up to so you can become aware. Be very, very aware of what they're doing with Iran and Iraq to instigate a third world war. This is exactly what they did with Japan and America in the last war. Don't read the history books, read what happened behind the scenes. It was all set up. Those of you who've done your research will know that. They're doing exactly the same thing with Iran and Iraq. They will instigate an attack. Probably Israel will instigate an attack on Iran. Iran will retaliate with a nuclear attack on Israel. Don't be fooled by that. There is already a device planted in Jerusalem to detonate. It's already there. There's also one planted at Mecca, which is where the Israelis will retaliate. That will cause a religious war between the Islamic and Judaic religions. That is part of their plan. Down the track, the Christian world will stay out of it for a period of time, much as the Americans stayed out of the Second World War trying to be the peacemakers. However, the intention is to bring the Christian world into the war by a device being detonated at the Vatican. There is already one planted at the Vatican. That will be through a missile strike by the Iranians. That will bring the whole world into a massive religious war. That is their intention. Look for collaborations around the London Olympics. They are going to use the energy of the London Olympics to springboard all of this. And financial collapses, there will be an acceleration of events through the second half of the year. Look out for them, be aware of them. The politics of the world is not fair, it's totally organised, they know what they're doing. That doesn't mean you have to fear it, just be aware and informed about it. Keep out there, keep aware. We love the messages that we're getting from you, and bless you all. Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. I've been meaning to make this video for a while now, and I know many of you have been sending me messages and questions to be answered, and I've spoken to a lot of you on Facebook or through Skype, and I'm more than happy to share my thoughts with you as to what's happening. I'm not going to go too much into the physical changes that are upon us. I've done that at length and explained what's going on. I'm now spending my time focusing on those people who I'm here to focus on. So if what I'm saying doesn't ring any bells for you, that you don't believe it, that's quite okay. Don't give it any second thought. But if what I do say resonates something for you, then that's who this message is for. There is a thing happening on the earth, the reptilian agenda. And the reptilian agenda is to create a vehicle so that they can access the higher realms, so that they can try to conquer all aspects of the universe, not just the third dimensional levels and the lower aspects of the fourth. Most of the early part of this I've covered in the first video, and I'm now going to extend this a little bit more. The reptilian agenda is quite justified, it is not evil, and it serves a function. That function is helping the human consciousness to evolve. So we have to see it in a different perspective. But what I'm really here to do is to say this to you. Who are you really, and why are you here? Who are you really, and why are you here? The reason I'm saying that is because 99.9% of people in human bodies are human consciousness. This is consciousness that has evolved, if you want to use that term, up through the ranks. Much as the Buddhists would say, you spend millions of years, the consciousness is at rock level. Then it moves on from rock level to the lowest forms of algae and bacteria, and then from there it moves up to plants. From plants it goes through periods of time where it then goes into the lower forms of animals when they become happen. So as a life form becomes available, consciousness can move into it. And now it's two in the one thing, because consciousness can instigate life forms as well as consciousness can adopt life forms. We've got to a stage now with the human life form where it's at a point where the Earth is going through a transition period, about to go through a transition period through the galactic plane, through an acceleration of many things that will change the human form. It will change the consciousness of the planet and thus human consciousness. Hopefully for the better, although we only have to look around at what's happening on the world to realize the majority of human consciousness is in fact not ready for a shift like that. It's very fear-based. That brings me to the small percentage that is not human consciousness but in human body, and that is star-seeded consciousness. Now by star-seeded I mean this: the human body was genetically engineered using the reptilians' technology by the Anunnaki and incorporates DNA from all over the galaxies. All of the different star races have their DNA in the human form because of the reptilians' agenda to conquer the universe. They have conquered species, they have eradicated species, and they have used their DNA. So the human body is a compilation of many, many DNAs from different star races. Because of that, star races have been able to incarnate into the human body. It's like a porthole. It's a doorway that they can access in. And the reason for that is star races are not allowed to interfere externally with the growth of the human consciousness. That would impinge on free will, and higher life forms know that that is not permitted. But they are allowed to influence human development by incarnating into human bodies. Those of you who are suddenly going, aha, who have had connections to the stars their whole life, who have always believed that they came from the stars, or a lot of this is ringing true because they've spent so much of their life trying to help people to understand love or structure or communication or whatever it is, this will ring true for you. The star-seeded consciousness beings that have come here, and I'm speaking directly to those of you who are resonating with this, were selected by your race as the best of the best. This was not just some arbitrary mission that they threw people who were not qualified to help. The best of your race were selected to incarnate into human forms because they knew it would be a hell of a tough job. You only have to look at the human consciousness to realize they just don't get it. They take forever to get it, and ultimately they need some sort of massive catastrophe before they go, oh my God. Well, they're going to get their massive catastrophe. We've done as much as we could to help them along the way. For you people who are star-seeded consciousness, who are awakening at this extraordinary time, your mission is complete. It is time to remember who you are. Remember that you came here to assist. You have planted the seed, you have done all you can. Now time to remember who you are and to prepare for what is happening. Many of you will go back off planet. Some of you will leave your bodies. Mission done. Go back to your systems. Some of you may stay to help afterwards. That is up to you. This message is for those of you who wish to help remember who you are, to reconnect with that. It is time to awaken. Please get in contact with us if this resonates for you. If this doesn't resonate for you and you think it's all a lot of crap, then don't bother. That's fine. You're probably part of the human consciousness. I'll be putting out some more videos as things start to accelerate. So I'll have a look for those, and please Keep in touch with us. We've been getting some extraordinary messages and meeting some extraordinary people. It's inspiring us to keep doing our work, and we love you all, and we bless you. Thank you.